You're watching the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. Now here's your hosts, Tom, Nick, and Dave. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. Uh-huh. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, N.D. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 196 of the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. That's right. We're about a month away from the historic 200th episode of the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. What will we do to celebrate this momentous occasion? I don't know, but I have a feeling it will be a royal affair. That's right. Your longest ever reigning total number of reigns, King of the Nerds. It is I, Dave C. the husband, King Dave C. the husband. It's what I do, baby. So, but before we get to all the other, oh God, what does Tom have?
Nothing.
Okay, just making sure you're reaching for something. But
Yeah.
before we get to all the nonsensical wonder stuff that we always do, we thought we'd just give Nick the floor to give an update on how he's doing, how the family's doing, because Nick had to leave to I'll let Nick tell the story. But clearly he's alive, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Well, we got hit with two pretty major hurricanes back to back here. But we're good. We're fine. Everything. I mean, I took a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. Drove to Alabama to avoid this thing. But yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a mess. But I mean, everybody's good, most part, I guess, that I know.
Is everybody like in your general area good for the most part?
I mean,
It was
like
most of it went
sure.
south of you, right?
Yeah. I mean, it came in. I think it was like 70-something miles. Like, I mean, they say as the crow flies, you know. So I mean, it was close. I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen like the pictures on like Tropicana Field, like the baseball stadium and stuff, but then completely shred. I mean, it was a pretty nasty one. But we lost like a bunch of tree branches. My screen door, my patio was completely ripped off of the hinges because I didn't lock it before we left.
Yikes.
You know, but it's okay. It's all right. It's we will rebuild. Florida always kicks out of two. We got this.
Always kick out of two. I would like to say this though. I like to think the fact that the Carpenter family made their way to Alabama helped the Crimson Tide beat South Carolina this week.
God.
I had to put that in there, Tom. I'm so sorry. Alabama won by 2 points, and you know why? It's because they had Owen and they had Cade Carpenter running the special teams.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. But wrestling also happened this weekend, everyone. In addition to my brother-in-law's wedding. Congratulations, Jonathan and Alyssa. And so I was at a wedding Saturday night, watching football. But Tom did the important thing and watched wrestling for us so that I could just kind of follow on Twitter. So, Tom, how was wrestling?
I also got mail.
Oh. You got mail.
Dave sent me this mask.
Tom Housen.
It's so poorly made. Look at this.
Is it? Oh, God.
Why does it have
Mohawk house?
Kind of looks like a condom tip.
So
you look like the weirdest juggalo there ever was.
Here's the thing. My mouth, in order for me to get the eyes right, the mouth is on my chin. My mouth is right here.
Okay. I was having trouble like telling if there was like a screen or whatever in front of the mouth because like your beard was blocking. I was like, wait, is that a
so for my mouth to be in the right spot? This is where my eyes now are.
Mask housing.
This is a really poor quality mask.
Well, it's a good thing you got it for free.
I know. I'm just saying, Pro Wrestling Tees sucks at their masks.
I will say the one thing Pro Wrestling Loot ever did better than them was the mask that I got. I forget which wrestler it was. I don't even know where the fuck that mask is. But
send it to me.
No, I like that mask.
Okay. I watched WrestleDream, kind of. So real quick, Saturday night, I went to Pure Pro Wrestling. They were back in Holland. And they had Silas Young and Rhino. They have both kind of signed contracts with Pure Pro Wrestling in Michigan. Ooh. Silas Young's been doing a bunch of shows with them, but Rhino, I think, is signed on as like coaching staff now too. I did not get to say hi to Rhino. I didn't want to bother him before the match. I'm like, oh, I'll talk after. And then I just didn't see him, and I was tired, so I came home. And I came home to watching WrestleDream. So I missed the first bit. We'll just do a quick recap. Jay White defeats Hangman Page.
Yep.
Kind of surprised, but not. Mariah May defeats Willow Nightingale. Saw that coming a million miles away. Jack Perry defeats Shibata. I thought Shibata was going to win.
No.
I know. I know. From what I hear, this might be the match of the year. Takeshita, Will Ospreay, and Ricochet. I heard Ricochet looked phenomenal. Will and Takeshita did great as well. So, like, I just heard that was a phenomenal match. I like that Takeshita took the title because it then frees Ospreay from it to go for a bigger title.
Yeah.
Hologram defeated Mortos, 2 out of 3 falls. This is where I kind of started tuning in.
Why was that match on that card?
Like, I don't know, but it was good.
I'm not denying. I heard WrestleDream was good, but like, watching Dynamite leading up to this, I was like, why is this on here? But
I think they're really trying to push Lucha again, and Hologram's incredible.
I mean, they had Rey Fenix and Penta on the roster all these years, and now
they're
that they
still
want
on the roster.
I know, yeah, and they're not going to use them. Like,
I don't know. Then I watched Darby Allin and Brody King. That was a weird match. I expected it to be a puddle of blood. I don't think there was any.
Okay.
I wasn't super invested in it. Because Darby, I thought, was going to be a bad guy, but now I don't know. Darby won. I guess that's cool. Young Bucks Private Party was an awesome match. Awesome match. Those teams have really good chemistry. For a minute, I thought Private Party was going to leave with the titles, because they looked like. So remember, like, early AEW when it was like really exciting to watch every week.
Yep,
that was the Private Party we got. Like, they were really exciting to watch. The thought of them taking the titles off the Bucks was a real thought I had.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, of course the Bucks are going to retain. I hit a point where I didn't know. They had really good chemistry. That's a match I would like to actually see again. That was fun. Briscoe versus Jericho. I'll be honest with you, I'm really over Jericho, so I just didn't watch. It was on, and I just did not pay any attention. That was a poop break. For those of you who don't know, I have IBS. I poop often, so it was a great time for having to go. Moxley Danielson, great match. Great match. Glad. I'm happy with the ending. I think AEW has gotten to the point where they are just having people pass out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's like an anticlimactic finish.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're passed out. It's over. Oh, they just put on a banger. That's the finish.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it as much this time. And then, like, with all of Mox's cronies coming out and trying to kill Danielson again, was awesome. Yuta, I don't know where he stands because I know where he stands. He was choking Bryan Danielson out with a bag again, which I people are upset about that. It's freaking awesome. It's awesome.
It's so different. Like,
awesome. When is the last time you saw someone pretend to suffocate someone with a plastic bag?
About a month ago at All Out.
But before that, like,
the grocery store. But
yeah, when you worked there, how many years ago? Like, no, but like, I think that's just a really unique move. It's disturbing.
Yes.
And
I mean, how many times did our parents tell us growing up, like, don't put your head in the bag there?
Yeah. And how many times did you do it? A lot. I really enjoyed it. And then, like, how the locker room eventually, I don't like that it took the locker room so long to come out.
Yep.
Because then it was like, and like, I think Shivani was like, well, it's about time. Like, what took you guys so long? I was like, yeah, like, what did take you guys so long? So I think maybe commentary ruined that for me.
Yep.
Excalibur on commentary for that was amazing.
I need to go back and listen to this. I heard he was very emotional, And
as a
even Nigel
commentary,
got like,
yeah,
guys, even this is too much.
yeah. Excalibur cried.
Did he?
You heard it in his voice.
Wow.
If anyone deserves commentary award of the year, it's Excalibur.
Yeah.
And I've thought this forever. I think he's very good. But he really got me more emotionally invested in watching someone die.
I have a fantasy booking idea, if I may, from this.
Mm-hmm.
But so at the end, like, so from what I've seen online as I open a brawler, this thing's really dope.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a brawler, top 10 brawler of the year for me.
I wouldn't know.
But so my fantasy booking is this. They have been very adamant about saying that this is the full-time, like Daniel Bryan's full-time in-ring career as a wrestler is over.
Yeah, he's gonna go
He's
part-time.
gonna come back and wrestle more. He's gonna make appearances. Now, obviously, they tried to sell Murder last night again, which I'm fine with. So he'll be gone a while. So Orange Cat, like last night, there's just like AEW posted a photo of like it's Darby and Orange Cassidy like together on the outside of the ring, kind of like schlumped over, like, oh man, we'll get him next time. So I'm thinking there is probably a trios match involving Darby, Orange Cassidy, maybe Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, somebody else there in the conglomeration for the trios title, or maybe the trios title with them against conglomeration, but Darby probably involved in there somewhere. And eventually we get to, and so between now and Revolution, Darby goes one-on-one with a member of the BCC at every pay-per-view. So you go Full Gear, World's End, and they usually do like New Year's Smash or whatever. There's probably
They're doing the Wrestle Kingdom thing.
Yeah, so we Wrestle Kingdom thing, but and then you eventually get to Revolution, where Sting will be in Darby's corner against Jon Moxley to kind of counter out the BCC, and Bryan Danielson is the special guest referee. That is when Darby Allin wins the world title a year after Sting is retired, and he had that. And they can be like, you've been chasing that high off that other man's career forever, and you're never going to get anything.
But we're thinking Darby, you think Darby's going to get the world title?
Darby will be the one to take the world title off Jon Moxley.
Okay.
That's my fantasy booking right there. The man who chopped the shit out of me, the Mid-Hudson Center, world champion.
Oh my gosh, that'll be crazy.
Also, Adam Cole wins the Dynamite Diamond ring.
I have a few comments, questions, and concerns, I guess, about everything that Tom said here.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to go all the way back to the beginning. Your trip to Pure Pro Wrestling. And I want to know about the groundswell support. Like when you were walking around, did anybody was there like, where is Harold? Harold needs his rematch. Was there? I just want to know, like with children coming up and saying, we just want Harold. Harold needs to get his rematch, his revenge.
Sure. I laid low. I hung out in the back. I didn't even take a seat. I stood in the back the whole time. A good number of people came up to me and talked about the puppet match and thought it was really awesome. And they said, "Is the puppet with you?" I said, "No, not tonight. Just kind of having a low key night out on the town by myself."
So
now, when you say you sat in the back, you meant like the back row. You didn't sit in the back locker room.
I didn't sit. I stood.
Oh, that's what I meant. You stood in the back of the building, not in the back stage.
No. I didn't go backstage at all. I don't want to be rude.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just want to know about Harold. Okay. Also, I think we should talk about, I've seen Rico, the return of Rico.
I heard that.
Rico made a return with Maximum Male Models, and apparently they want to get Chuck Palumbo to do an appearance too, which would just 16-year-old Dave's heart. Like, okay,
I don't remember that bit at all.
It was wouldn't fly today, but you know what? It was so back in hindsight, being what it is, doesn't fly well. But like those who will get it, will get it. And AEW, I love that they are like, you know what? 20% of our audience is going to get this joke, and that's okay because it doesn't really do much damage to the rest of the story. So that's what I'm here for.
And then finally, my last point. Well, this is really where my concern comes in.
Oh God.
I am very concerned with the lack of Shane McMahon on my television. And I just want to know when Shane McMahon is supposed to come and why he hasn't come out yet. Like, I feel like last night was supposed to be Shane McMahon.
That's the big reason why
I'm getting concerned as a fan.
I don't know.
I don't think I will say this. If they do that violent beatdown on Bryan Danielson and then Shane McMahon comes out to it, with all due respect, Nick, the beatdown that we just saw kind of loses its impact.
I mean, that would
I
happen.
think Shane McMahon is a reveal you probably do on television, quite honestly.
I would do it at in Japan.
Jeez
Ooh,
Louise.
they'd be like, oh.
Who's going to wrestle Okada in the Tokyo Dome?
Here comes the money.
And then Linda comes out with him. Holy shit.
You know how, like, at all, like, the Japanese crowd is very polite and stuff, and when something shocking, they're like, ooh, ooh.
Boo. This is awful. They also didn't bring out Bobby Lashley from what I saw.
Okay,
They had a segment between Swerve Strickland and MVP.
I didn't see Lashley on that.
No, he wasn't. They did not.
Okay.
That's what
I
I'm saying.
just
They did
love
not bring out
that
Bobby Lashley.
they took the Hurt Business and then just, like, kept the gimmick and everything and just said, just insert into AEW this whole entire gimmick that was already being done. Like
exactly.
basically.
But I heard that, again, it's one of those, like, Adam Cole came back last night. MJF came back last night. Bryan Danielson almost died. There's no need to add another thing of Bobby Lashley because it's just so easy for him to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's
I was more Shane.
Granted, I really don't care about Bobby Lashley. No offense, but it doesn't move.
I never care about Bobby Lashley.
Doesn't move the needle for me. Just saying.
He never moved the needle for me.
No.
I was talking to someone last night, and they're like not an AEW guy, and I'm like, well, like, how do you like? I told him, like, you know, I don't like that, like, either or mentality. I think it's childish. Like, I'm saying this guy's straight to his face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that mentality is really childish. I'm like, what don't you like? He's like, and he brought up a good point. And I'm like, so you like it, it's not your preference. He said, when AEW does it well, it's incredible. Oh, yeah. It's untouchable. When AEW drops the ball or, like, the production or the match isn't good, he's like, it's just that bad. Yeah. Like, there was a clip on Twitter today of, I think, Anna Jay's match in the pre-show where she was pinning, but whoever she was wrestling didn't have both shoulders down. Yeah. So the ref literally pushed her shoulder to the ground.
Yeah, that's a very good point. When it's great, it's untouchable. When it's bad, it's
great, I don't think WWE can touch it. When it's bad, it's just embarrassing.
Yep.
And I will say though, like, that's why I think WWE's got it together, because they're at least, like, consistent.
Yep.
Like, they're not like, woo. I mean, there's some things that are going up, there's some things that are going down, but I'd say, like, their normal level. I need to stop doing that. Their normal level is
I was gonna say
is good. And when it does dip, it dips, but when it comes up, it comes up. Like, I don't know. I think WWE's got, like, consistent quality over AEW.
Yep.
But I think when AEW, when it's on with Ospreay and Takeshita and Ricochet, it's like, oh, AEW pumps out matches of the year.
Yep.
And I wonder if they hit us so much harder because they don't pump as many great quality matches out.
I will say this, and Tom, please pardon the baseball reference that I'm going to give here. Margaret and Steve will love this, but I told somebody this the other day, and the Dodgers playing the Mets. The Dodgers are, don't get this twisted, folks. The Dodgers, the way they are right now, are like AEW. They have, you know, Freddie Freeman. They have Mookie Betts. They have Shohei Ohtani. 3 fantastic death threats in their lineup. But then around that, there are some holes. Whereas the Mets, yeah, they've got Lindor, but then everybody after that, they're solid. They're an 80 to 85 overall rating. and they're top to bottom threats. So, and I kind of put the Mets at WWE, but but if you get those three clicking, it can do a lot of damage. So AEW can produce that high quality content. But they just,
and I would always say that it's hard to compare the two because WWE's got a 50-year head start.
Again?
I mean, at least and stuff. I mean, how long have they been making TV for? At least 40 years now they've been doing TV.
So here's my rebuttal to people that say that. A lot of people that work for AEW have been in the business with WWE for the past 20 years plus and whatnot,
And isn't there like a huge creative shakeup I was reading? Like Jimmy Jacobs was
Jimmy Jacobs
resigned
or something.
He was like Tony Khan's right-hand man and creative, and now he's they're doing a whole creative shakeup, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, with Jimmy Jacobs, when I met him, I wasn't like super enthused about the interaction with him.
He's the guy that took the picture with like the Bucks when they were outside of Raw and then like got fired shortly after, right?
He was like his big fame was coming up with the list of Jericho and the whole Kevin Owens, like the Festival of Friendship and all that stuff. That was like what put him on the map.
Was that him?
He was the one that came up with the list of Jericho and the Festival of Friendship and the whole Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho thing at WrestleMania was like all his ideas. And
yes, so when the Elite, when the Bullet Club or the Elite or whatever it was, when they were doing Being the Elite, they like invaded Raw.
Yeah,
he like went outside and took a picture of them because they were all his friends. He posted it and then got fired by WWE shortly after. So, yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe making room for Shane.
Yeah. Do we have any brawler news? Anything like that?
A little bit. We got. I mean, I don't know. Are we good on crates? We can talk about the Jay and Silent Bob brawlers. I don't think we talked about
Jay and Silent Bob brawlers went on sale. At some Comic-Con there. Again, I've never seen the Jay and Silent Bob movie, so I'm not, chomping at the bit to get them.
When I did mixed martial arts, my gym was attached to the Quick Stop from Clerks.
Is it really?
So like Quick Stop, movie rental place, the gym that they just never put in the movies.
So I don't know the last time you went to a Devils game, Tom, but so like, there's always like usually those the code of conduct like videos they show, like do not throw items onto the ice, no smoking. So they pretty much apparently they spoof Clerks when doing that video, like Kevin James or Kevin Smith, excuse me. Kevin Smith narrates it.
The King of Queens?
Yes. Big Mets fan. But Kevin Smith like narrates it. It's in black and white, and there's apparently a bunch of like nods and winks to Clerks.
Oh, that's fun.
But and my buddy who I go with all the time, my friend Chris, he was like, "Yeah, I bet this would be a lot more entertaining if I've seen the movie Clerks." I'm like, "I've never seen it either." And somebody goes, "Holy shit, you two are the only idiots in this fucking state right now that have never seen that movie." And we're just like, "Well, we're from New York, so sorry."
I think it's cool though. It opens up like definitely the world of micro brawlers. I mean, if we're doing like people in movies and stuff. I mean,
very true.
So the question is, do they count?
I count them.
Oh,
I mean, they're micro
absolutely.
brawlers. I think they count more than a chibi brawler. At least this is like in scale. It looks like it has micro brawler written on it.
It is a micro brawler. It's the same exact thing.
I think
it is a micro
counts.
brawler.
I don't think it counts.
I think it does count because it's readily available. The minis are not like the minis are a separate timeline.
I don't think it counts.
Well, it's too bad it's not your
It
list.
can't. They're not wrestling personalities.
Royal Decree, they count.
What happens if we get them on our show? Does that make them wrestling personalities?
Listen, if we can get Kevin Smith on the
Have they
show,
ever been on
like
did they guest host Raw or something ever? Or
yeah.
Ever? They were? They did.
Pretty sure.
If somebody out there can show me pictures of Jay and Silent Bob in some kind of wrestling capacity, then like I don't know about the cow. The cow might be a hard one to sell. But
Mooby, is that its name?
Mooby the cow.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm working on this right now.
What about the All Elite crate, Dave? Have you got your All Elite crate yet?
I have not yet.
Well, you might like it.
Really?
I might like it.
I'll say, without spoiling anything, that the
So they
Brawler
must
will
have
be
been there
somebody
like
that
day one, by the way, because
that?
there's Jay and
Yes,
Silent Bob.
yes.
And Chris
There we
Van
go.
Yeah.
There we
Okay.
go. They count, Tom.
Okay.
Look at them. They're in the crowd.
That's like episode
Everybody needs
one
people. Yeah, episode one of AEW. Yeah,
AEW.
I remember that. I remember that now.
So,
Okay.
so yes, let us know what movie franchise you want them to bring Micro Brawlers into.
Ernest. I watched Ernest Scared Stupid today. Classic Halloween movie, and I want an Ernest Micro Brawler. There we go.
Great.
That's what I want.
Yeah, so let us know which movie franchise you want them to put in Micro Brawler form next week. Let us know in the comments what you thought of WrestleDream, what your thoughts on Shane McMahon are. What do you think about fantasy booking with Darby Allin becoming the AEW World Champion at Revolution next year? Of course, if you can, donate any money you can to great local charities down in Florida. Down there, help them out as best you can. As Nick said, we will rebuild once again.
Or you can go on to our Wrestling Tees store at
Not me.
Honestly,
I didn't say.
I would love it if you guys would send me money.
because I live in Florida, and
I'm just poor and sad.
I'm just I'm
I want to give you guys an
I'm
update on
greedy.
something
So go to prowrestlingtees.com/the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. Baby, it's cold outside, so get yourself a Wrestling Nerd hoodie. We've got zip ups too. We've got knit hats too. We've got t-shirts if you're in Florida and it's hot. Because I know that Orlando humidity is no joke when going to Disneyland. So go to the happiest place on earth while wearing the happiest shirt on earth. Also, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/WNRDB, Facebook, Instagram, WNRDB, the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. And that's nerd spelled N-R-D. And of course, right here on YouTube, right below Tom and his Tropical Smoothie Cafe sweatshirt. If you haven't already done so, click subscribe. And if you do, we might give away a smoothie one day. One day our sailor will come in from sea. So that is it. Until next time, on behalf of myself, the reigning, defending king of the nerds, Mr. DaveCTheVoice, the founding father, Mr. Nick Carpenter, and of course, his former Royal His Highness, Mr. Tom Sasso. Don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because, like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone, and God bless America.
send me Shane McMahon figures for my shrine.
You ever just dream about taking a cheese grater to your own face and then putting the cheese on your sandwich?